University Challenge. Asking the questions and more ranting.
Hello and welcome to University Challenge. We're still in round one of this year's competition, joined tonight by two more new teams hoping to get their series off to a winning start. Failing that, a score of 210 will put them at least temporarily at the top of the losers' leaderboard and in with a very good chance of a place in the repechage. Balliol College, Oxford is the oldest institution represented in this series, founded in around 1263 by John de Balliol as penance for an altercation with the Bishop of Durham. Its future was secured, however, by his wife Dervagilla, who gave the college both its formal statutes and a permanent endowment. Its many alumni since include the social reformer William Beveridge, the philosopher Derek Parfit, the historian Susanna Lipscomb, and the 2017 champions of University Challenge. Playing on behalf of around 700 students and with an average age of 25, let's meet this year's team from Balliol.
Hello, I'm Elise Cox. I'm from the United States and I'm reading for an MPhil in political theory.
Hello, I'm Oliver Ellingham. I'm from Bournemouth in Dorset and I'm reading classics.
And their captain?
Hello, I'm John Meyer. I'm from London and I'm reading for a DPhil in philosophy.
Hello, my name is Nikita Trojanskis. I am from Riga, Latvia, and I am reading for my DPhil in biology.
Imperial College London was established in 1907 in response to concerns that Britain's European neighbours were starting to outpace it in scientific research and education. It then underwent significant expansion in the 1950s when the UK government looked over its other garden fence and decided it needed a British MIT. Alumni include the physician Sally Davies, the writer Adam Kay, and the astrophysicist Maggie Adarin-Pocock. And it's one of only 3 institutions to have won this competition 4 times, representing around 10,000 students with an average age of 24. Let's meet the team looking for title number 5.
Hi, I'm Justin Lee. I'm from Hong Kong and Canada, and I'm studying chemistry.
Hello, I'm Adam Jones. I'm from Hong Kong and I study computer science.
And their captain?
Hello, I'm Soraya Haddad. I'm from Manchester and I'm studying medicine.
I'm Shorajit Devnath. I'm originally from Calcutta, India, and I'm studying for a master's in applied computational science and engineering.
I can't imagine there's anyone either playing or watching who doesn't know the rules by now, but just in case, starter questions are worth 10 points and must be answered individually and on the buzzer. Whoever gets a starter question right also wins their team a set of 3 bonus questions worth 5 points each. Fingers on buzzers then, here's your first starter for 10. In 2016, R&B artist The Weeknd created which boastful alter ego? Inspired by David Bowie, this new persona provided the title...
Balliol Cox.
Starman?
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. It provided the title of The Weeknd's 3rd studio album.
Imperial Jones.
After Hours?
No, it's Star Boy, I'm afraid. Another starter question. What 2 initials link all of these? The US scholar who promoted the concept of intersectionality, the Missouri-born author of The Awakening and Desiree's Baby, the political leader who sticks...
Imperial Jones.
KC.
Correct, it is KC, yes. Your bonuses then, Imperial, are on poems that open with questions. In each case, identify the poet from the first line or lines. This British poet, born in 1922. Why should I let the toad work? Squat on my life. Can't I use my wit as a pitchfork and drive the brute off?
It's either Larkin or Auden. Go for Larkin.
Yeah. Larkin?
It is Larkin, well done. This American poet, born 1830. I'm nobody, who are you? Are you nobody too?
I think it's Sylvia Plath, is it?
Sylvia Plath, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sylvia Plath?
It's Emily Dickinson. Finally, this British poet, born in 1893. What passing bells for these who die as cattle?
Wilfred Owen.
Wilfred Owen.
It is Wilfred Owen, well done. Another starter question then. Born in 1837, the poet and novelist Rosalia de Castro was a leading figure in the literary revival in which language? In which she wrote 2 notable collections of poetry. It's a Romance language closely related to Portuguese that today has co-official status with...
Imperial League.
Galician.
It is Galician, yes, correct. Your bonuses, Imperial, are 3 questions on connective tissue in the human body. What 2-word term denotes the homogeneous gel-like matrix that fills the spaces between cells and fibres in connective tissue?
I think that's intercellular matrix. Yeah, intercellular matrix?
No, it's the ground substance. What name is given to the principal active cells of connective tissue that produce ground substance and tropocollagen?
I'm not sure. Sorry, pass.
It's fibroblasts. Also called fatty tissue. What form of connective tissue consists mainly of cells specialised to synthesise and contain large globules of fat within
Adipose tissue.
It is adipose tissue, yeah. Another starter question then. Life on the Rocks, a 2022 work by the marine biologist Julie Baerwald, concerns what organisms of the phylum Cnidaria, whose bodies comprise a hollow structure known as polyp. Their symbiotic relationship with algae is threatened by global...
Balliol Meyer.
Lichen?
No, and I'm afraid you lose 5 points. Is threatened by global warming in a phenomenon known as bleaching.
Imperial Lee.
Corals.
It is corals, yes. Got 3 questions, Imperial, on the Haitian filmmaker Raoul Peck. A study of the black experience in the USA, Peck's 2016 film essay, I Am Not Your Negro, is based on an unfinished memoir by which US author born in 1924?
James Baldwin.
No, I'm afraid I can't. I'm sorry, I can't accept that. You've got to take your first answer, which is incorrect. The correct answer is James Baldwin. Second, which African politician is the subject of a biographical film of 2000 by Peck? It examines his rise to become the first Prime Minister of Congo's Kinshasa post-independence and his assassination soon after.
This is Patrice Lumumba.
Confirm it.
Okay. Nominate Debnath.
Patrice Lumumba.
Correct, yes. Peck's 2021 documentary series, Exterminate All the Brutes, concerns colonisation and genocide. Its title originates in a line spoken by Mr. Kurtz in which 1899 novella?
Heart of Darkness.
Heart of Darkness.
Heart of Darkness.
It is by Conrad, of course, yeah. Let's have a picture round now. For your picture starter, you'll see an extract from a text in German. For 10 points, identify the 19th century author.
Balliol Meyer.
Karl Marx?
It is Karl Marx. Following Karl Marx's Opium of the People, your bonuses are 3 more extracts from texts by political philosophers. 5 points for each author you can identify. First, this ancient Roman.
Cicero.
Yeah.
Cicero?
It is Cicero, yeah. Let the safety of the people be the supreme law. Second, this Enlightenment figure.
So it's French. What is could it be? Did Rousseau? Rousseau?
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
I think Rousseau is. I don't know. I think Rousseau.
Is it Rousseau?
No, it's Montesquieu. Finally, this political philosopher.
Oh, this is Machiavelli.
What does it say?
Love and fear.
Yeah.
Is it Machiavelli?
It is from The Prince, yeah. Better to be loved than feared. Rather than in reverse. Another starter question then. What 5-letter word appears in all of the following film titles? The winner in 2022 of the Academy Award for Best International Feature Film, a 2001 neo-noir film directed by David Lynch.
Imperial Debnath.
Drive.
It is Drive, yes. Your bonuses, Imperial, are on fictional characters. All answers end with the same 4 letters. First, the name of which fictional character appears in the title of an Italian novel whose first chapter contains the line, "There was once upon a time a piece of wood," and describes an old character known as Master Cherry?
Guess it. Thank you. Yeah. Pinocchio.
It is Pinocchio, yes. What is the name of the vulgar, wealthy individual who hosts an extravagant banquet in Petronius's Satyricon, published in the later 1st century of the Common Era?
Trimalchio.
Nominate Jones.
Trimalchio.
It is Trimalchio, yes. Described as a gentleman of Verona, which character is a suitor of Katharina in The Taming of the Shrew?
Petruchio.
It is Petruchio, yes. Well done. Another starter question then. What is the only flower mentioned by name in John Keats's Ode to Autumn? Referring to the shrapnel that shattered my father's paybook, Ted Hughes called it the mouth of the grave, a canvas beauty puppet.
Balliol Ellingham.
Poppy.
It is the poppy, yes. Well done. Your bonuses are on events that lasted 44 days. In 2022, Liz Truss announced her resignation as British Prime Minister after just 44 days in office, beating the previous record for shortest tenure held by which statesman who died in office after 119 days?
Spencer Percival.
No, it's 100. Is it 190? I thought George Canning was the shortest left that she beat, wasn't it?
I think that might be right.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
George Canning?
It was George Canning, yes. The 2020 conflict, often referred to as the 44-day war, was fought between the forces of Armenia and Azerbaijan for control over which disputed region?
Nagorno-Karabakh.
Is it?
Yeah, nominate me.
Nominate Trajanskis?
It's Nagorno-Karabakh.
Yes, Nagorno-Karabakh. In 1974, Brian Clough's tenure as manager of which football club lasted only 44 days?
I think you're better.
If we don't know that,
Could go Everton. West Ham.
West Ham?
It was Leeds United. Another starter question then. Which US physicist won the Royal Society's Copley Medal in 1901? He described his eponymous thermodynamic potential as the greatest amount of mechanical work which can be obtained from a given quantity of a certain substance in a given initial state, without increasing its total volume or allowing heat to pass to or from external bodies.
Balliol Trojanskis.
Gibbs.
It was Gibbs, yes. Your bonuses then, Balliol, are on Italian iced desserts. Meaning drowned, what name in Italian is given to a dessert traditionally made by pouring a shot of hot espresso over a scoop of vanilla gelato?
Avocado.
It's delicious, isn't it? What Italian word meaning little rags or shreds may denote both a soup made from drizzling a beaten egg mixture into broth and a gelato in which melted chocolate is similarly added to the base near the end of the churning process?
Stracciatella.
Stracciatella.
Correct. What Italian word denotes a flavoured ice with a base of sugar and water? It may be distinguished from sorbet by its looser, coarser texture.
Gelato? No.
Oh no, would it be like granita? Granita?
Granita.
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 It is granita, yeah. Now, to start a question then. Looted by the British in 1897, which collection of over 3,000 decorative pieces is named after a former kingdom located in...
Imperial Lee.
The Benin bronzes.
It was the Benin Bronzes, yes. Your three questions, your three bonuses then, Imperial, are on later additions to sculptures of classical antiquity. The majority of the bronze known as the Capitoline wolf is believed to be Etruscan. The 15th century sculptor Antonio del Pollaiuolo is thought to have added which two figures from Roman mythology to its base?
Romulus and Remus.
Romulus and Remus.
Correct. In 1510, Raphael was the judge of a contest to choose a replacement arm for the marble statue depicting which Trojan priest being killed by serpents. The original arm was rediscovered in the 20th century and restored.
Laocoon.
Laocoon.
Yes, usually pronounced Laocoon. Taken during the 1204 sack of Constantinople, the horses of St. Mark were put on display in which Italian city with added collars to hide the damage from transport?
Venice. This is Venice.
Venice.
It is Venice, yes. I'm going to get a music starter now. And for your music starter, you'll hear a piece of early 20th century classical music. For 10 points, simply identify the composer.
Imperial Jones.
Rachmaninoff.
That is Rachmaninoff, yes. Well, you heard an extract from the third piano concerto of Sergei Rachmaninoff, born 150 years ago in 1873. Your music bonuses are three more pieces composed or premiered around the year of Rachmaninoff's birth. 5 points for each composer you can name. First.
Okay, good nominate. Nominate Lee.
Smetana.
Correct, yes. Secondly.
Oh, wait, this is I think this is the one of dances by Tchaikovsky. But, oh, maybe.
Tchaikovsky.
I think it's Tchaikovsky.
Okay. Tchaikovsky.
It is Tchaikovsky, yeah. Finally, the composer of this piece.
Sanson.
It's very impressive, yes, well done. Let's start a question. During the July crisis that led to the First World War, which country received a harsh 10-point ultimatum?
Imperial Lee.
Serbia.
It was Serbia, yes. Your bonuses, Imperial, are on history. Your three answers are short words that all have the same middle letter. Born in 1324, the son of Robert I, David II was the last king belonging to what royal house? A single word is sufficient.
Bruce.
Bruce. Bruce.
Bruce is correct. What was the surname of the 20th century South African Prime Minister commemorated by a statue at Parliament Square in Westminster?
Smoots.
Sorry.
Smoots.
Smoltz.
Yeah.
Smoltz.
It was Smuts, yeah. Finally, known in Greek as Cheops, which ruler of the 25th century BCE built the Great Pyramid at Giza?
Khufu. Khufu.
It was Khufu, yes. Another starter question then. Listen carefully. I need the name of an individual here. The most distant known single star,
Imperial Jones.
You need to answer.
Barnard.
No, sorry, you need to answer immediately if you're going to do it. You lose 5 points. The most distant known single star, Rendel, the hills and mountains on Saturn's moon Titan, including Erebor Mons and Doom Mons, Three mountains in the Cadwallader Range of British Columbia, including Mount Shadowfax and Smaug, a protein that inhibits translation of mRNA nanos in fruit flies, are all named after characters or places in the works of which British author?
Balliol Ellingham.
J.R.R. Tolkien.
Got there in the end, didn't we? Right, your bonuses then, Balliol, are questions on measurement scales. A scale for measuring electronegativity is named after which US chemist who devised it in 1932? He won a Nobel Prize in 1954 for his work on chemical bonding and molecular structure.
I think it's Pauling.
Do you think?
Yes.
Or Pauling.
that's
Pauling.
Linus Pauling.
It is Pauling, yes. To the nearest whole number, what should be added to temperature on the Celsius scale to convert to Kelvin?
Oh, I think 98 or something like
No,
that.
isn't it more than that?
110.
Isn't it like 200?
Yeah,
It's a lot.
100. 180.
270.
Oh, bad luck. It's 273. Specifically 273.15. Associated with logarithmic scale quantities, what scientific unit has the abbreviation lowercase letter d for delta and uppercase B for Bravo?
Decibel? Decibel.
Decibel.
Decibel is correct, yeah. I'll start a question. Her subject matter drawn from classical sources and from the works of poets such as Spenser, Dante and Boccaccio, Marie Spartali Stillman was a British painter associated with what artistic movement? Born in 1844, her advisors included Ford Madox Brown and Edward...
Imperial Jones.
Pre-Raphaelites.
It was the Pre-Raphaelites, yes. Your three questions then, Imperial, are on an African country. At the Sydney Olympics in 2000, which sub-Saharan country became the second African nation to win the gold medal in men's football? They've won the Africa Cup of Nations 5 times.
My favourite subject.
Sub-Saharan.
Egypt?
That's not Sub-Saharan.
Senegal? Cameroon?
Senegal.
Try
It's the
Senegal.
right area, isn't it? Okay. Senegal.
Bad luck, it's Cameroon. In 1884, which colonial power took the word Cameroon from a Portuguese name meaning river of prawns and extended it to the area corresponding to the present nation?
Germany, I think.
Okay. Germany.
Germany is correct. In 2002, after 8 years of investigation and deliberation, the International Court of Justice resolved a border dispute with which country by awarding the contested oil-rich Bakassi Peninsula to Cameroon?
I think it's Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Nigeria is correct. Let us start the question. I need the full name of a commonly abbreviated term here, often pointing to an HTML page and referring to the mechanism used by web browsers to retrieve any asset published on the internet. For what do the letters URL stand?
Imperial Jones.
Uniform Resource Locator.
Correct. Your bonuses, Imperial, are on people whose surname is also the name of a currency. In each case, name the person from the description. I need a given name and surname in each case. Firstly, the pen name of a Russian-born US author. In works such as The Fountainhead and The Virtue of Selfishness, she expounded a philosophical system that she called objectivism.
Ayn Rand.
Nominate Jones.
Ayn Rand.
Correct. Secondly, a Hong Kong actor and martial artist known for starring in the Ip Man film series, as well as Hollywood movies such as Rogue One.
It's
Yen.
yeah, Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen.
It is Donnie Yen. Finally, a US poet born in 1885. His works include Alume Spento and In a Station of the Metro.
Ezra Pound.
Ezra Pound.
It is Ezra Pound, yes. Well done. Let's start the question. From a Greek verb meaning interpret and thought to allude to a messenger god, what term denotes the methodology of interpretation of texts?
Imperial Jones.
Hermeneutics.
Hermeneutics is correct. Your bonuses, Imperial, are on fictional characters who share initials with their creators. In each case, I need a forename and surname. First, which writer of a 1749 novel shares initials with his character Harriet Fitzpatrick? Harriet is the cousin of Squire Weston's daughter Sophia, the latter reconciling her love for the eponymous foundling.
HF.
Henry Fielding.
Yeah. Henry Fielding.
It is Henry Fielding, yeah, the novel's Tom Jones. Who created the character Willie Steenson, an old, grizzled fiddle player in Red Gauntlet, a novel concerning a fictitious Third Jacobite rebellion?
What were the initials?
Walter Scott.
WS.
Walter Scott.
Walter Scott.
So Walter Scott is correct. Charles Darnay is the assumed English identity of the exiled French aristocrat.
Charles Dickens.
Charles Dickens is correct. Well done. Let's have a picture round now. For your picture starter, you'll see a painting. For 10 points, name the artist who painted it.
Imperial Haddad.
Egan Sheila.
It's correct, yes. Your picture starter was Sheila's The Family, which shows the artist, his partner and a child. For your picture bonuses, you'll see 3 more paintings of artists' families. 5 points for each artist you can identify. First?
I'm not sure about that one.
Otto Dix, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy to go
Could
with
be,
that.
yeah.
Otto Dix.
Otto Dix is correct. Secondly,
Renoir, I think, yeah.
Renoir.
no, that's Morisot. And finally,
Bacon.
Okay.
Yeah, go with that.
Bacon.
it's Lucian Freud.
Okay.
Another starter question. Plenty of time for you, Balliol. See if you can get going again with this. According to Geoffrey of Monmouth's 12th century work, History of the Kings of Britain, which exiled Trojan prince and great...
Imperial Lee.
Brutus.
It was Brutus, yeah. 3 questions for you, Imperial, on Irish history. In 1593, Hugh O'Neill rebelled against English rule, initiating the conflict known as the 9 Years' War. O'Neill held which earldom named after a Northern Irish county?
Tyrone.
Tyrone.
Tyrone is correct. In 1601, troops from which country landed at Kinsale in County Cork, but were forced to withdraw after Tyrone suffered a major defeat nearby?
Spain.
Spain.
Spain is correct. In 1607, Tyrone, Tyrconnell and their followers took ship for Spain and their lands were forfeited. By what popular name is this departure known?
Flight of the Earls.
Flight of the Earls.
Flight of the Earls is correct. 6 minutes to go. Another starter question. What does the Grove Dictionary describe as probably the most common tempo designation in all music? This term is variously rendered in English as merry, cheerful and lively.
Balliol Meyer.
Allegro.
It is Allegro, yes. Well done. Your bonuses then, Balliol, are questions on city planning. First, born in 1552, the Italian architect Vincenzo Scamozzi designed the town of Palmanova, having been inspired by the concept of which fictional work by Sir Thomas More?
Utopia.
Correct. Edward Bellamy's 1888 utopian time travel novel, Looking Backward, was an inspiration for which 20th century urban planning movement, founded by Ebenezer Howard?
The new town movement, like the modern town garden movement.
Just say something. Yeah. We don't have time.
The town garden movement.
Bad luck. It's Garden City movement. In the 1950s, which architect prepared the master plan for the Indian city of Chandigarh? The design made use of the modular scale of proportions.
No.
Pass.
That was Le Corbusier. Starter question then. With the addition of onions, a quiche Lorraine becomes known by an adjective referring to what historical region between the Vosges Mountains and the River Rhine in eastern France?
Imperial Lee.
Alsace.
It is Alsace, yeah. 3 questions for you, Imperial, on particle accelerators. Named because of its target energy of 1 billion electron volts and its synchrotron design, the Bevatron was a US particle accelerator that discovered which large antiparticle in 1955?
It is.
Anti-neutrinos?
Positron.
Positron. Let's go with positron.
Positron. Okay. Positron.
No, it's the antiproton. The Tevatron, with an initial target energy of 1 tera electron volt, operated between 1983 and 2011 at Fermilab near Chicago. It was used to discover which heavy quark, the last one predicted by the Standard Model.
Higgs boson, isn't
It's in a quark.
Strange. Something.
Let's go with bottom, by the way.
I think boson's not really.
Come on.
Strange.
Strange.
No, it's top. Hypothetical particle accelerators called Zevatrons, capable of reaching energies of 10 to the 21 electron volts, are thought to be responsible for the ultra-high energy variance of which particles that reach the Earth from space?
Neutrinos. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Neutrinos.
No, it's cosmic rays. 4 minutes to go, another starter question. The words northeast and southwest commonly precede what Arabic-derived word for a seasonal wind system, for example, in South Asia or Australia?
Balliol Ellingham.
Monsoon.
It is monsoon, yes. Your bonuses then, Balliol, are questions on the deadly Viper assassination squad in the Kill Bill movies. Bud, the brother of the titular Bill, was known by what nickname during his time in the deadly Viper assassination squad? The name refers to a snake that uses an unusual mode of locomotion that may be useful to travel over sand.
Mamba?
Or is it a sidewinder?
Oh, is it?
Sidewinder.
Correct. Played by Lucy Liu, Oren Ishii had what nickname? A species of pit viper, also known as the water moccasin.
I only know water monsters.
Anaconda.
Anaconda.
It's cottonmouth. What species of snake with a dark-coloured mouth was the nickname of the Bride, played by Uma Thurman? This snake is native...
Black Mamba.
Black Mamba is correct. Another starter question. Which of Agatha Christie's Poirot novels derives its title from the first victims, these being Mrs. Asher in Andover, Betty...
Balliol Ellingham.
The ABC murders.
That's very impressive. Yes, well done. Your bonuses are on concerts, Balliol. Which US cult band, led by guitarist Jerry Garcia, held the first ticketed non-festival...
Grateful Dead.
Correct. A concert by the Italian singer Vasco Rossi in 2017 currently holds the record as the highest attended ticketed concert. It took place in the Parco Enzo Ferrari in which Italian city, known for its car industry?
Car industry.
Milan or Modena, I think.
You think Medina?
Medina?
Correct. Which French electronic musician's concert holds the record for the highest ever attended? Marking the 850th anniversary of the city of Moscow, the free event took place on the 6th of September 1997, and over 3.5 million people were said to have attended.
Didio Moroni? No, it's...
I don't know.
Electronic music.
If we don't know, just
Just say Didio Moroni.
Didio Moroni?
No, it's Jean-Michel Jarre. Another starter question. With the shortest term served by John Rutledge at 138 days and the longest by John Marshall at 34 years and 152 days, what position has also been held...
Balliol Meyer.
The poet laureate?
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. What position has also been held by Earl Warren and William Rehnquist and is currently held by John Roberts?
Imperial Lee.
Head of the Supreme Court of the USA.
I take that as Chief Justice, yeah, head of the Supreme Court. 3 questions then, Imperial, on timescales. A gigasecond is 1 billion seconds, that is just over 31.5 years. A gigasecond ago, from the time of recording, which UK Prime Minister was in office?
Cameron, maybe?
Are we going to get this? Sure. Yeah. Cameron? I guess Cameron.
30 years ago, right? 30 years ago, Blair.
30 years ago. Yeah.
Come on.
Yes, yeah. Yeah. No, it's not, because Blair was 97.
Just say
Come on, need an answer. I'm going to time you out.
Blair.
No, it was Major. A gigaminute ago, what dynasty ruled China? A single-word answer is enough here.
Song?
Okay, Song.
It was Han. Finally, go back in time 1 gigamonth, or about 83 million years. What geological period is this?
Cretaceous. Cretaceous.
Nominate Lee.
Cretaceous.
It is Cretaceous. Well done. Another starter question. It is a blue in itself, disengaged from all functional justification.
Balliol Meyer.
Eve Klein?
Well done, it is Eve Klein. Your bonuses then, Balliol, are on languages that feature in the national anthem of South Africa. Which national language begins the anthem and gives its common title Nkosi Sikelel' i-Afrika? Spoken throughout the country, it is the majority language of the Eastern Cape Province.
Afrikaans?
No, it's Xhosa. The entirety of stanza 2 is written in which southern Bantu language? Most speakers of this language live in Free State, and it's an official language of 2 countries that border South Africa.
I don't know.
Swahili?
No, that was Sotho. Finally, which language is used in the final 2 lines of the first stanza? It is one of the most spoken Bantu languages after Swahili.
Afrikaans?
No, it's Zulu. Another starter question. Distinct from scalars, which only have magnitude, which...
Balliol Ellingham.
Vectors?
Vectors is correct, yes. Your bonuses then, Balliol, are on. And at the gone, Balliol College, Oxford have 145. Imperial College have 285, which is a phenomenal score, and that means there's absolutely no shame whatsoever. You were buzzing in constantly, but just behind, weren't you? It's frustrating. Tell us about your mascot. Who's that?
It's Jeremy.
It's Jeremy, is it? Yeah. I won't take that.
To
a great
man.
I won't be offended. Well, he is a great man. Imperial, that was an absolutely incredible performance. It must feel good when you got so much right.
Yeah, feels good. Good team. Thank you very much.
I think that's going to be one of the highest scores going into, I mean, who knows, but going into the next round. Well done. That's an absolutely phenomenal performance. I hope you can join us next time for another first round match. But until then, it's goodbye from Balliol College, Oxford.
Goodbye. Bye.
It's goodbye from Imperial.
Bye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.